Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black gloss. I'm wearing a blue polo shirt, and I'm sitting in my office with a few colored lights behind me. And in this video, we're going to have a look at the Motorola Edge 50 Neo. Now, first things first, I am not an Android user, so this is sort of going to be a very, I wouldn't say uneducated overview of the phone, but it's not coming from someone who uses Android on a regular basis. I normally use an iPhone Pro, so I suppose there will be comparisons that I make with that, but let's get into it and see how we go. So the first thing to talk about with the Motorola Edge 50 Neo is it currently is $699 in Australia. So I think I mentioned the price first because I think when we're talking about the specs and the features and all those sorts of things, I'm trying to keep in mind the price. So this is well under $1,000, and you know the phones that I'm used to using are a fair bit more. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's get started with a little bit of the specs. So I'm going to put a little bit of the specs on the screen here. I'm also going to put up the benchmarks in terms of speeds and performance, that kind of stuff. This isn't something that I really focus on too much when I'm looking at what a phone can or can't do. I'm more interested in just the everyday usage and that kind of stuff. But a few things to talk about the specs that I found interesting was Motorola claims that it has up to 34 hours of battery life. I haven't tested that, but I've definitely found that just in everyday use, the battery life is pretty darn good. Like it lasts a heck of a long time. In terms of just holding it in your hand, I like the feel of it. It's nice and thin, as you can see there. It's fairly skinny. It's got a flat screen. It doesn't have the screen that goes over on the edge, which Motorola sent me another one of their phones, and this is the Edge 50 Peach, I think. And this one does have the edge, the screen over the side. We'll cover that in another video. In fact, if you're watching, that video will come after this one, so probably if you want to see that, I'll put a link up in the corner here, but it won't be there just yet, if that makes sense. Or it might be up in that corner. I'm not sure, but I've forgotten which corner it goes into, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I like the feel of it. It's sort of like got a matte finish on the back, so very easy to grip, so not going to slide out of your hands. I like that. Small, thin, nice big screen, light. That's the first thing that I noticed, is that compared to iPhone Pro that I'm used to using, it's definitely a lot lighter. It comes with a case, which is, I mean, that's really, it's a small thing, but I like the fact that, it comes with a case, but also it's a nice sort of skinny case. It gives it protection. I like it. Apparently this case is made out of recycled bags or trees or something. I don't know, but it's eco-friendly and all that kind of stuff. Really nice thing, small touch, but the fact that in the box it actually comes with a power brick. Not a lot of phones come with that anymore. Most of them just come with a cable. It comes with a cable as well. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because on the one hand, I absolutely see the point of how many people these days do not have a power brick for their phone. But then again, I can also see people who this might be their first phone, and so they need a power brick. I mean, you can plug USB pretty much into anything. So I think we can live without the power bricks, but I'm sort of halfway, either side on that conversation. Right, it is called Rambling Tech for a reason, isn't it? Wireless charging. It does support wireless charging, me likey. I've found that quite a few phones in the Android world that I've looked at in this price range don't often feature wireless charging. So it's got wireless charging, 15 watts. It's got this super fast charging mode when you plug it in, which I think gives it like 68 watts or something. I'll put something on the screen here to confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's 68 watts, which is pretty darn cool. It's got military grade protection in terms of waterproofness, water resistance. The military grade, apparently it means that you can put it like in temperatures of like below 50 degrees Celsius up to 60 degrees Celsius, so really hot, really cold. It'll deal with little dust being dropped. I'll try not to drop it, but it deals with those sorts of things quite well. In terms of the screen, it's got, as I said, nice OLED screen. It's got a fingerprint scanner and it's got a face scanner, which I like for getting into the phone. Couple of little cool, and there's going to be quite a lot of these in this video, again, because I'm not a regular Android user, but it's got some really nice gestures that you can do with the phone to activate things. So if the phone's locked like this and you go like that, it turns on the flashlight. Not a big deal, but it's, you know, if you're scrambling for I can see the practicality of that. You know, you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, you need to go to the bathroom when you get to a certain age, and you grab the phone, you need a torch, and it's nice and easy. I mean, you could smash yourself in the face, so there is that, but just hold it away when you do that. The other one, which is cool, and this one I really like, is you twist like this, and it activates the camera. So being able to quickly, like as it's coming out of your pocket, you just do that, and it activates the camera. I like that. I'm sure there's going to be people who are watching going, oh, that's Android. Android does that. You Apple fanboy shouldn't. I am an Apple fanboy. I'm not planning on changing that anytime soon, but I definitely like those features. Another nice Android feature that I found, again, because I've got the 2 phones that I've got set up that I'm sort of testing at the same time, when I install, because I'm logged into my Gmail account on both phones, when I install an app on this phone, I've got the option to install it on all my other Android phones that I'm using at the time, which, I mean, most people probably don't have lots of Android phones, but they may have Android devices. And so when you can specify, oh, if I'm installing it here, I want it over there and I want it there, I like that. That is definitely a nice feature of the Android operating system that I like. So another thing to talk about with this is that this comes with, I'm told, fairly stock Android. It does come with a couple of apps pre-installed like Booking.com and LinkedIn. I don't know why. You can uninstall those, so that's fine. You don't have to, you know, leave those there forever, but I'd rather just have nothing and let me choose what I want to put in there. It does have guaranteed up to 5 years of software updates. So it's running Android 14. So I guess this will, you know, you're guaranteed to get up to Android 19. Yeah, plus 5 is 19. Really, really nice. It's interesting because being the Apple fanboy, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, Apple doesn't have to tell you that because Apple supports stuff until, and Apple is pretty good at supporting phones like for quite a long time, but they don't actually tell you, they don't give you a cutoff in terms of, right, well, look, after this stage, you can still use your phone, but we won't be supporting the software. You won't be getting software up and so on. You kind of buy it and you find out down the track. So I actually think it's quite a nice thing that with Android there's a bit more certainty, at least with some phones. I appreciate this may not be with all these, but you know, at least with these Motorola's, they tell you, you know, look, you get this, you're guaranteed for the next 5 years, you're going to get the latest software updates and things. I mean, obviously there'll be features and things that may not work, but yeah, that's a nice stuff. Now let's have a chat about the cameras. You can see there's quite a few cameras on the back here. There's 3 cameras, and the cameras is an area where I know a fair bit about. So this comes with a 50 megapixel camera on the back. That's sort of like your main camera. It's the equivalent of a 1.8 aperture, so it's really nice and, you know, good in low light and things like that. You then also got a 30 megapixel ultra wide, which is sort of the equivalent of an f2.2, and then you've got a 10 megapixel telephoto, which is the equivalent of an f2. Decent camera on the front. One thing I find, and you can adjust this in the software, but one thing that I find with Android phones in general, and I definitely find it here with the Motorola Edge 15 Neo, is that I find the photos, and I'll put some photos up now that I've taken with this and just sort of went out to the city and had a bit of fun. But something that I noticed is it tends to have a lot more contrast and a fair bit more sort of sharpening sometimes than I find with, you know, the phones that I normally use. Again, you can adjust this, you can change it, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I think the cameras on this, again, for the price, whilst $699 is not a small amount of money, $699 for a phone like this, I think the cameras are pretty darn impressive in terms of what you can do. For video, you can shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second. It doesn't do 4K 60, but you will get 1080. And let me just check the specs here. So 1080 will do up to 60 frames per second, and you get, I think also you get 120 frames per second in, it says FHD, so I'm not sure if that's 1080 or 720. I'll put something down here below. But yeah, in terms of the camera functions, no complaints. I think the camera's pretty darn good on this, and you've got some really nice options. Yeah, in terms of the specs and things like that. Buttons, you've got the sleep button on the side, and you've got the volume buttons as well, so that gives you your buttons in terms of what you can do. USB-C on the bottom. Storage is 256 gigs. Now you can't extend the storage, so I was a little disappointed with that, because one of the things I was excited about trying with Android phones is, you know, similar to iPhone, you get what you get in terms of storage, but I know that there are some Android phones out there where you can put an SD card or something like that to extend the internal memory. 256 is a fair bit for most people. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. To give you an idea, with our sort of everyday phones, I've got a 1 terabyte phone. I'm always filling it, but I do a lot of photos and video, particularly a lot of video, which is going to take up a lot of space. My wife, on the other hand, takes tons of photo, not that much video. She's only using about 140 gigs worth of space on her phone. So for her, 256 would be more than enough. So I think 256 for most people, absolutely fine. In terms of water resistance, it's IP68 for water resistance. So you could just, dump it in a glass, I wouldn't go swimming with it per se, but if it falls in a swimming pool, you're going to be absolutely fine. It does this really clever thing with the screen in terms of refresh rate. So like in terms of brightness, it'll go really bright outside, so no issues in terms of seeing it on a bright sunny day outside. It goes nice and dim when you're inside in the dark. But so it's got 120 hertz refresh rate for refreshing and movement on the screen. But what it'll actually do is you can put a setting in here to adjust it dynamically. So the refresh rate will go all the way down or all the way up to 120 to conserve battery life. So if you're just looking at a web page, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I understand how it works. Like if I'm just looking at a web page and I'm not moving anything on the screen will dial down the refresh rate because nothing's moving on the screen, so it doesn't have to refresh that quickly. But then once I start moving things around, the refresh rate will kick up again, which is pretty darn cool. There's also a game mode. You've got Google Gemini, so you've got all the sort of like the AI. We're going to have a whole video about AI later, but you've got the machine learning, all that kind of stuff. You've got Google Lens, as you'd expect with Android 14. Now, in terms of colors, I'll put a little sort of thing on the screen here. It comes in a few different colors. I don't love the sort of pinkish sort of color that they've sent me. That's really just a personal thing. I would have preferred the blue, but it is what it is. But it's nice that you have options because you're going to buy it, so you can decide what color you want. I think if you are looking for a phone in this price range, I think the Motorola Edge 50 Neo is definitely something worthwhile having a look at. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If you have found this video helpful or useful, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and yeah, if you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses, wearing a blue polo shirt. Let's try that again. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses, I will get this.